In this video I will be comparing top 4 screen capture softwares. Fraps, which is here, mirrorless action, which is not very popular but it's very good and I've been using it, then Dxtory, and finally NVIDIA ShadowPlay. Right, let's start with complexity. Which one is easy to use and which one is very difficult to use? Well, it's very easy to actually list them. Well, Dxtory is definitely last. But as you can see, there are a lot of options in here and it's very difficult to set it up. Well, don't mind this in here, that's from mirrorless action. It seemed to be capturing a lot of other stuff. But anyway, this is very complex to set this up. You also have to choose a codec and you have to set the codec up in here. Again, don't mind this, it's just on the way. I can just get rid of it maybe. There we go. I just put it in the desktop mode, so now it's up there. Right, anyway, you have like so many options in this. There are so many different codecs. You can also download some codecs. I think this H.264 was a pretty good one. There are some people who have set it up pretty well, so you get quite small file sizes and also quite good quality. But again, on a complexity level, this is very complex to set this up. So we're gonna put this number 4. Now number 3 is definitely mirrorless action. There is not so much to set up, but as you can see there are several tabs in here, all the settings. There's also audio level, system sounds and microphone balance, which way you want to balance it. If you don't get this right, you can't even hear yourself talking in the game if you're making it without comments. So yeah, it has some good things in there, but it's not that easy to set up. Also have to make sure that you're not doing something stupid in there, so it doesn't like just kill your frame rate or the hard drive. So you have to set it up properly. Also on the game mode, which puts these windows in there. Again, I'll just change it to desktop mode, or the region capture area. And there are also quality levels, frame rate, stuff like this. So I will list it as number 3. And then finally is Fraps and ShadowPlay. Well, these are both very easy to set up. In Fraps, basically all you do is just set the folder where it captures. It has default, but I'm using an SSD as primary, so I don't want to kill my SSD with this. So it goes onto my external hard drive, which is extremely fast by the way, about 220 megabytes per second read and write. Anyway, right, then you choose a frame rate in here, which frame rate you want to capture it on, key to capture, if you want to record the external input, which is microphone in my case, or not, stereo, multi-channel, and that's pretty much it. I mean, all of these options, they speak for themselves. It's very easy to understand. Also, this is very good option, split movie every 4 gigabytes. It's very good if you like trying to make a video. I mean, like render it and edit it. Then big files are not very good. They take ages to load up and ages to work with. Even on a good computer like mine, it still takes long time, because simply the codecs just can't handle it. It's the software side, not the hardware side. That's why I prefer to split. But anyway, I will list this as I don't really know. Let's check out the ShadowPlay. Right, the ShadowPlay comes with NVIDIA GeForce Experience. It's not actually even released yet. I managed to get the leaked version, which is not even officially released by NVIDIA. But here we have NVIDIA GeForce Experience, and once you click this ShadowPlay button, then you will have this window coming up. And I don't know really, it's very easy to set up. This is on and off button, if you want to use it at all or not. This is like a feature enabled or disabled. This is not the recording. If you turn this off, then all of this is grayed out and you can't use it at all. We have mode, which is very easy to understand. I already went over this in the previous video, the preview video of ShadowPlay. So in short, manual mode is just like any other recorder. You press a button to record, you press a button to stop recording, it saves the clips, and that's done. Shadow mode is always recording. On a background it records into RAM, which is extremely good feature, but I will get to it. So it always records. If you press the key, it will save, if I'll put it on like this, it will save how many minutes you have chosen in here. Obviously, if you put it like this, then it means it uses an extra 3.8 gigabytes of RAM, which means you need like at least 8 gigabytes of RAM to do that. So it just keeps it in the RAM. If you want to save it, it saves the video clip, last 10 minutes. And shadow and manual mode, it's both. You can manually record or you can just save the clip. So it's still always recording. Very easy to understand, very easy to use. Shadow time, as I already showed, this is how long it records automatically on the shadow mode. Quality, well, very easy to understand. And audio, well, there is nothing nothing to understand either. Record the game audio or don't record. And again, all you do is in here, you just set the directory, set two keys. This saves the shadow copy, which always records, and this toggles the recording, as you can see. Either record or don't. And this shows the position of the small icon, which shows which mode it's on. And that's pretty much it. It's very easy to set up. So I think I will list ShadowPlay as number 1 in complexity, Fraps number 2. Right, let's move on. And we're gonna check compatibility. Well, they're all compatible with all the games, so there's nothing much to really go over with. But definitely mirrorless action is the best one. And why? Is like I already showed, if I put it on the game mode, it even captures like these kind of windows. Not all of them, but some of them. Depends how the windows are listed. But yeah, it shows up pretty much everywhere and very good to use this. Sometimes it's very useful. Should be able to even record YouTube videos with this. So it's very handy. This is definitely number 1. And I don't know, there is no number 2 or 3 or 4 really. Because rest of them they just capture any full screen application, or actually ShadowPlay, it doesn't seem to capture any window mode games, so that's kind of bad side. I will put it on number 4 on this one. It's just meant for games really, and nothing else. Or anything that runs on full screen, I think, but I haven't tested. Right, features, let's see. The most feature rich is probably Dxtory, but it's hard to say. I never got this multi-channel audio working. I don't really know why. I tried these options. I tried to like set this to like speakers, so this should record speakers, this should record my microphone, but it just doesn't work. I tried it like so many times. I tried to follow some guides and stuff, and it just doesn't work. But nevertheless, it's here, so maybe somehow it works. Maybe my installation is corrupt. I don't know. Right, one of the good features that Dxtory has that none of the other one has is a raw capture. Well, sorry, not raw capture, direct show output. This means you can stream gameplays with this. If you select this and disable this, it means it doesn't actually record it into a file. Instead, it streams it as a virtual camera. And some of the applications like Wirecast can capture these cameras, which means you can stream using Dxtory and you can live stream your gameplay with this without actually saving into any files. And as you can see, it has loads of other options in here. Another very good thing is this, which means you can split the files between 2 or more hard drives. My external hard drive has, as I said, about 220 megabytes per second. I listed it as 200, but that's more than enough. But if you have like slower hard drives, meaning that you're trying to record on like really high frame rates, and your hard drive just can't handle it, you can just split it between 2 or more hard drives, and that will solve the issue. I actually had it on another computer where the hard drive was just too slow and you couldn't even use the recorder because it was lagging down to like 20 or 15 frames per second, and it was just a hard drive issue. But this option would solve it, so definitely very good feature. And let's see what else we have. I haven't really used this. You can change the clipping and stuff like this, cropping. So definitely Dxtory is number one if it comes to features. Well, and next is like this, the mirrorless action. Well, this is like a very odd bug. It goes under other windows. I don't know why it does this. Now it came on top. But yeah, it does this a lot. It just goes under the other windows, not on top. I don't know why it's doing that. But anyway, features. Not gonna go through all of them. I just go quickly into this one. Whoops, this one. This is very good feature to have because that is very important. For example, in DayZ, the game sounds are so loud that if I'm like talking commentary on the video, I can't even hear anything. So I have to balance this about to 50 or something. I mean, not 50, I mean, sorry. I have to put this like about 80 or 90% of microphone and then like 10 or 20% of the system sounds. But in most games this works best, 70 to 30. And it has some of the other things. It should have stream, like live streaming somewhere. I just saw it. I think it's this one. Webcam settings, nope. Video recording settings. Don't know where I'm looking. There we go. Upload. You can upload it automatically to YouTube if you want. I never used this option, but it's possible. So yeah, Action has some quite good features. And well, Fraps, it doesn't have much, and ShadowPlay, it has almost no features at all, but nevertheless it has the shadow time feature, which is very good. That it's like always recording, and it uses RAM. That's what makes it better than all of the other ones in this feature. It records it straight into RAM, so it doesn't even kill your hard drives or anything like that. So it's awesome. Right, and let's move on to quality, performance, and file sizes. I have made series of tests in Far Cry 3, and it's up to you to decide which one is the best. I will just show you the videos, and then I will show you how they look like. So first we can, what's first? Dxtory is first, and just move this window in here. Right, these are Dxtory recordings. And as you can see, the file sizes are here. 15 seconds, almost 1 gigabyte. 21 seconds, 1.36 gigabytes. And this in here, AA8 and AA2, these are the settings. This means that Far Cry 3 was on absolute maximum settings with anti-aliasing on 8 times. However, 8 times is a bit too much to record and play. So I decreased it to 2 times, and that gave a little bit better results, but I will show you how it looks like. So we're gonna load up the video with PS Player, and it's on my other monitor. I'll just remove that and do this. It's gonna probably lag to you because I'm using Camtasia as a screen recorder, which is not meant for games, so that's why I'm not listing it. But yeah, here you can see these frame rates are not from here. These are the Fraps and mirrorless action. But as you can see, it's a little bit laggy. And the results, I'm not gonna play through all the videos because the quality levels are almost same. At least you can't visually tell any difference at all. So I'm not gonna go through all of them. Right. But then I'm gonna move on to Fraps. But before that, I'm gonna give you the frame rates on Dxtory. And Dxtory frame rates are absolute maximum settings. Dxtory recorded from 33 to 37 frames per second on absolute maximum settings. And on AA 2 times, Dxtory was, let me see, where was it? Dxtory recorded about 53 frames per second average, which is actually the best result. And to give you like base frames, then Far Cry 3 on absolute maximum settings runs on 38 to 41 frames per second normally. And if I turn down the AA to 2 times, it will run from 54 to 78 frames per second. I tested it all in same place. And well, right, let's move on. Let's move to Fraps. Here we have 8 times. And it's fucking loud. And this is the same place I used for the recording. As you can see, I just turned around on the boat like this. I don't know why it's doing that. I think I have some codec problems. But anyway, I'll stop this. And we have 2 times, it's the same thing. And Frap frame rates, I will just list them on the video so you can see under the video. It's better than to just read it all out. Then we have unreleased action, which is again 8 times. And the file size, I will also list it on the video so you can clearly see it under here somewhere. And again, the quality is pretty much same, so I'm not going to even play through them. And ShadowPlay, this is not a feature actually which I didn't mention. ShadowPlay actually lists the games in here. It goes into the ShadowPlay folder and creates a folder for each game on its own, so you don't have to sort the clips. The DVR means it's automatic, the shadow mode, and this is a manual recording. And I really like it how it names the files. It's like very clean and very nicely done. I like this. And again, the quality is, well, it's fine. But some reason, if you can hear this, the sound is messing up a little bit on the ShadowPlay. But not to worry, because obviously no one's gonna use these files as like source, but I think if you're gonna upload this to YouTube, it's gonna fix itself. Because I tried in here, which was this video. This is like converted, already ready. The way I uploaded it with the watermark and everything, and this doesn't have the sound problem. So if you're like editing a video, then you won't have that. Somehow I think I just have some kind of codec problems, and that's why it's doing this. So this this video problem, I think it's just on my side. I haven't updated the codecs for about a year or so, so it's probably the codecs that can't handle the raw files that the ShadowPlay creates, or I don't know. But it's not an issue to me because, as I said, I always use the video editor. I put the video together, render it, and then it's fine. And the file sizes, as you can see in here, only 24 megabytes. But that's normal. And as about the file sizes, yeah, the file sizes are well, quite different. I think the ShadowPlay has the smallest sizes. So to give you an example, I will just read them to you. Right, Dxtory files, or actually I could just show them. I'll just show them. Right, Dxtory file sizes are here. You can just look them from here. Then we have Fraps. I actually thought that Frap makes the huge videos, but it looks like Dxtory beats it. So, but again, Dxtory can use very different codecs, so it's based on a codec how big the file size is. Unreleased action is here. You have our Far Cry 3. And finally, ShadowPlay. And one thing I didn't really understand is why this file is smaller than the other ones. 21 seconds is... no, it's not. It wasn't this one. Can't remember which one it was. Oh yeah, it was this one. It's 31 seconds and 142 megabytes, and then we have 25 seconds, which is 156 megabytes. But again, it highly depends on the pixels on the screen. obviously the darker the screen, the less space it takes. So if the gameplay would be in dark areas, then it will take less space, but that's what it obviously is, because if you look at this one, this looks a lot darker. The sun wasn't out like this, so probably that's why it's taking less space than 25 seconds. But yeah, the ShadowPlay seemed to be the most disk saving. It saves your disk space if you're worried about that. And Dxtory seemed to be creating the biggest files. I was using the where's the Dxtory? I was using the original Dxtory video codec, and it's still on compress, so uncompressed it must be even bigger. I didn't even notice that I had this on, but that's obviously default setting. But yeah, here you have it. So it's up to you to decide which screen recorder is the best. If you would ask me, then I would go with mirrorless action or ShadowPlay, then Fraps and then Dxtory. Dxtory can be good, but I've had so many problems with it that it's just phew. And of course, to mention that ShadowPlay is free. All the other screen recorders are not free. And there is also something which I left out, which I'm gonna actually show real quick, is MSI Afterburner, but on some reason it doesn't work for me. I tried to set the video folder, but as soon as I click this button it's just gonna crash, so I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, this is not very popular anyway, at least I haven't heard of it much. It could be pretty good, but again, I never got it to work because it's just crashing whenever I press this button. So I left it out. But I think that these free ones, Action, Dxtory and Fraps, are definitely the most popular screen recorders. And ShadowPlay, well, we'll see. I'm quite happy with it. It's just the frame rates are a bit sluggish. This is actually what I didn't mention before, is that ShadowPlay is kinda crappy actually. Because if you're recording, the frame rate is, well, it's higher than some of the other ones, but the problem is that it lags a little bit more, because it's probably raw input or something like this, I really don't know, but it like feels sluggish. The mouse is like very sluggish, everything is sluggish, even though the frame rate is higher, so I don't know what's causing that. But that only happens if you're like taking the last out of your graphics card. This is why I set it on absolute maximum settings, to see how much it actually affects the game when you're on the maximum graphics. But otherwise I tried it out in Crysis Free with a little bit lower settings and it worked absolutely perfectly. Also Far Cry 3 is one of the games where recording is quite bad or incompatible or something like this. It's just my experience. In Far Cry 3 I never got the perfect frame rate when recording. It just does stupid things on its own. But yeah, in Crysis 3 ShadowPlay worked quite fine, and again, you don't have to put everything up on absolute maximum. The anti-aliasing setting, it didn't really have any visual difference, to be honest. At least I didn't notice it, so you could just use the ShadowPlay. This shadow timer, again, this is one of the best features which I'm gonna definitely use in the future. I'm gonna set it in 10 minutes, and whenever something cool happens in the game I can just save the clip. No need to worry about recording. But yeah, the downside is the audio, that it doesn't capture a microphone, so we'll see about that. But yeah, I think a lot of people were interested in which recorder is the best, and well, these are the results, so you decide which one you're gonna go with. But if you're asking for my opinion, I would recommend Action or ShadowPlay, depending on what you're doing. So here you have it. I hope it helps, and choose wisely.